And a fresh flashpoint in the US-Iran standoff, with Washington rejecting Tehran's latest proposal on the Strait of Foremost. A top aide to the US President Donald Trump has slammed Iran's pitch to reopen the key global waterway, calling it unacceptable. The US Secretary of State Marco Rubio has made it clear access to the Strait of Foremost cannot depend on Iran's permission or conditions, asserting that the US will not tolerate any attempt by Iran to control or charge vessels passing through the strategic route. My colleague Mayank joins us with the details. Mayank, Rubio also pushing back against what is being described as a pay-to-pass model, and he has warned that Iran can't really dictate terms over a critical international waterway. So yes, diplomatic channels can open up again, with Iran saying that Strait of Hormuz should be opened up, but the US also is clear on the conditions that it wants to place to ensure that the Strait of Hormuz opens up, saying that it carries significant share of the global energy supplies.
Absolutely. When we use the term strategic tool, which was, Strait of Foremost served as a strategic tool for Iran, it is because of this reason only. That every aspect and concentration of the discussion has, Strait of Hormuz has become the concentration of entire discussion, which is after the war of 42 days. And such a massive destruction which took place within the Middle East region, and even missiles reached to the extent of Israel. That was the kind of a high tempo and destruction which has taken place within Iran, within the region, and then also towards the Israel. This is what had happened. Nobody was initially, because when the war started, it was the statements had come out from the US side or from the other every side that it will get over within few days, which did not. It is because of that reason. Nobody understood that Strait of Hormuz could be also weaponized in this way. That's the point, actually. That's how the discussion has started focusing or concentrating on Strait of Hormuz. It had created a kind of a ripple effect for the entire world, globe.
Yes.
India included in that.
Yes.
And we are still waiting for the cost of living, which is about to increase because of fuel aspect, fertilizers, because the multiple gases which come from that side. This is the significance of Strait of Hormuz. That's why both sides have now concentrated on this narrow passage so that they could resolve it.
But the question is, will Trump actually delink Hormuz and nukes? Let's talk about what is the potential upside if that actually happens. Will that happen or not? That remains to be seen, because US has been clear about it, like Mayank pointed out. But if that actually happens, what is the upside to it? Let's talk about what is the kind of impact it will happen, that will take place not just in US and Iran, but of course across the globe, India included, which is the global oil flow stability will finally return after what we've been seeing in the recent weeks. And apart from that, of course, the energy prices could cool off very fast, and the deal maker image will, of course, be boosting Donald Trump. He likes to call himself a deal maker. He says that about himself time and again. So if this deal actually does go through, then there is that image boost for the United States, for President Trump in particular. It also reduces the military escalation risk. Currently, there is that risk that there could be an escalation, but if this understanding is reached, then that could be cooled off. But there are some strategic risks to it as well, as US has been claiming time and again. The biggest one being, of course, the nuclear program oversight will now be weakened, and Iran may expand the enrichment quietly, as it has been doing, as the US has been accusing Iran of doing as well. So that Hormuz leverage is also lost for any future talk, because currently the biggest leverage that Iran has is the Strait of Hormuz. So if now there is an understanding, in the future that bargaining chip may have gone. The risk, of course, will still continue of a later maritime re-escalation.